Welcome back. Now let's actually animate once we are shooting and make sure that we are setting the boolean correctly. So we have this boolean is shooting. We can activate it and deactivate it. So we want to activate it once we are shooting, but just the frame later we want to make sure that we're not shooting anymore. So at least this boolean is deactivated. So let's have a look at how this is going to pan out. So the first thing that we will need to do is we need to go to our weapon manager. And that will be under our scripts here, weapon manager, this one here. So this is where we are shooting, right? So what we can now do is in the update method, we get the button down fire. So we know we shot, okay? So now what we need to do here is we need to start the animation. So let's create a variable animator that will be the player animator. Even though it's not really an animation for the player, it's actually an animation for the weapon, but it's more or less the same thing here, right? So we get the player animator here, and we will need to assign it, of course, to our weapon manager script in Unity. So now what we can check in the update method, not only if we get the button down, but also if we are shooting. So we can just say player animator get bool. So we can check, is the bool is shooting set to true. And if that's the case, then go ahead and set that boolean to false again. So here is shooting. Let's set that to false like so. And then at this point, do the actual shooting. Once we get the input detected. Now inside of shoot itself, we also need to make sure that we are actually setting the shooting to true at one point, because otherwise it will never be set to shoot. So player animator set bool, and here we're going to say is shooting should be set to true. So let's look at this by frame steps. So here at the beginning, is shooting is set to false. Then input is detected and the shoot method is called. And then at the bottom, you see in the shoot method, the boolean is shooting is set to true. That's in the first frame. Well, in the moment that we're shooting. Then in the following frame, the is shooting is now true. So we're setting it back to false. Then input is detected and we're shooting again, or we're setting the shoot method again, and the shoot method will set our is shooting to true again. Okay, so that's what is happening in our case right now, even though this might not be frame 1 and frame 2 in the sense of exactly after another, because we don't shoot 60 times per second, for example. If we have 60 frames, I don't think that you can shoot as quickly. Some people might be able to do that, but most of us can't. So that is how it's going to work. Okay, so now let's make sure that we are saving the script, by the way. And once we have saved the script, we can go back and we can now make sure that our weapon manager and our FPS character / weapon here owns the weapon manager. It now needs a player animator. And the player animator is going to be the FPS character, or at least the FPS character owns it, because here, that's where the animator comes from, right? So this animator that is owned by the FPS character holds the controller that is our FPS animator controller, which then holds the animations and the order in which they are being executed. So it will now set this is shooting to true and false based on our behavior. So based on whether we shoot or not. So let's see if this is actually going to work now. So let's shoot, and you see the animation works. So even if I'm very fast here, you see it doesn't finish the animation entirely, and it works well here. So let's try to shoot this little bastard, and there we are. Dead. Zombie dead. Okay, cool. So that's it for this video. See you in the next one.